Another minute or so here. For the last few seconds, start to make the breath a little bit more deep into the belly, filling up the bottom of the inhale with air like a balloon. And then let the exhale deflate the belly, going back up and out of you. Maybe again, letting it come out of the mouth. 2 more deep breaths. Last time. Nice. And then start to make little movements in your hands and your feet. If your legs are bent, you can extend them and shake them out. If you did anything with your arms, maybe stretch them over your head and drape yourself over your props. Letting this long line of the front body extend from hands to feet. And then bend the knees. Plant your feet to the floor and either roll over to your side or push down through your forearms and come up. Take your time to come up to sit. And you can move your props out of the way, sitting up nice and tall. And let's sit in Virasana. So come to sit on your shins, taking a block underneath your pelvis. And if you don't have a block, we're not going to be here too long. Yeah. Let your palms face up on your thighs. Close your eyes one more time. And imagine the inhale coming in through the crown of your head, scaling down your back, going all the way through you, all the way through your limbs, through your torso, through the bowl of your pelvis, through your legs, and down to the soles of your feet. The inhale comes from the top through to the bottom. And then the exhale reverses from the soles of your feet, up your legs, up your spine, up your arms, up your neck, up through the roof of your mouth, up through the crown of your head, out like steam. Just a few moments like this to let the spine settle from the back bend that we were in. Inhaling through the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet. And exhaling from the feet below you all the way up through the crown. And let go of that visualization of the breath. Drop your chin into your chest and blink your eyes open out into the floor in front of you. Take a big inhale and sweep your arms up above your head. And then exhale, cactus the elbows wide and eagle wrap the right arm underneath your left. Just a little movement for the upper back again. So right arm is going to be under your left. We're going to take the elbows to your left, but try to push your right elbow into your left, back to the right. So you're taking your elbows to the left, but you're fighting that in motion and trying to move the elbows in the opposite direction. And you'll feel this pull across your right side body. Yeah, Alex is looking over her shoulder. That might feel really good. By pulling the elbows to the left and resisting, you'll feel this stretch in the upper right back. Yeah. One more big inhale. And then exhale. Bring the elbows back through center. Sweep the arms up and over your head again. Breathe in. Exhale, cactus the elbows, and then you go the left arm underneath your right. And then draw the elbows over to the right, but fight for them going to the left. And you can look over your left shoulder. Now you're pulling of your upper left side. One more breath in and out. Bring the elbows back through center. One more time, circle the arms wide and up. And then lean forward and come off of your block, and we'll set up for Sphinx pose. So you can do this propless, or you can have a block in front of you that you might want to use for your head. And you can also use something underneath your pelvis. So if you want to do Sphinx just on the mat, go ahead. I'll set it up with the bolster. It feels really nice to me to still have that. There, I was using it when I had a pregnant belly, and it would just kind of relieve the pressure. It's also nice to just do to feel the length in your low back, so it's not as crunchy. Yeah. So you could try it out. Start on your elbows. I didn't mean to be on my extended arms. Yeah. And the elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Have the block nearby so you can hold it in your hands if you want. And then you can drop your forehead on top of it if you want to let go of the weight of your head. Otherwise, you can just hold your neck nice and long. Okay, guys. Yep. So there's a little bit of effort in this. This isn't restorative where you could just close your eyes and forget what you're doing. You're feeling this. You can even feel a little bit of the mat pulling backwards with the forearms, forwards with the finger pads. Finding length in the curve of your skull, length in the curve of your low back. And we'll be here for another 2 minutes. And then if you want to extend it into seal, I'll let you know when to do so. And if at any time you want to try lifting your head up or you want to drop your head down to the block, you can switch between the two. And since we hold these poses for a few minutes each, it's easy for the mind to wander. So again, find your natural breath. Find your breath as it is, not trying to move it anywhere. The cool air coming in through your nostrils and the warm air exiting. And for the last 30 seconds or so, if you'd like to extend the arms straight into a seal pose, you'll look forward, push down through both palms, and extend through the elbows. And if that's too much, just come right back down. The hands can be a little wider than your shoulders. The closer that they are to you, the more you'll feel a stretch in your abdomen, and the further away, the more accessible the pose might be. Find your legs here, push down through the toenails, push down through the thigh bones, the pubic bone, lengthen through the tailbone. One more breath. And then everyone lower right back down to Sphinx. Good. We're going to go into the pec stretch from here. So if you have a prop underneath you, you'll need to pull up to your hands and knees to move it out of the way. Otherwise, from Sphinx, you can just widen the elbows and come onto your stomach. Clear your space. And we'll start with the left arm extended out to the side, straight out from the armpit, and your left ear to the mat. Bring your right hand to the floor like you're going to do a push-up. Yep. Keep your head on the floor, keep your left arm on the floor, roll onto your left side. And either you can keep the legs stacked or you can bend the knee, the right knee, and step your foot behind you. You want to think that the crown of your head is in line with the rest of your spine down to the tailbone. So maybe slide your head back in space another inch. Just checking you all out. Yeah. The right hand can stay exactly there, or you can lift the right arm up and just let it hang behind you. You can even half bind it and slide the back of your hand down your back. Yeah. Nice. Your natural breath now might be a little bit stronger without even trying. This could be sensational for you if you haven't done it in a while. 5 more breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale. Coming out of it one step at a time, bring your right hand first to the floor. Stack your legs. And then as you roll onto your belly, take your right knee out to the side into a half frog, kind of like when you're sleeping on your stomach in bed. So your right leg is out to the side and bent. Turn your right ear to the mat and you can bend your elbows into a cactus. So just taking a moment, pausing here, getting a little stretch in the hip and groin. Right ear is down and you're looking to the left. And the higher you bring your knee, the more of a sensation you'll feel. Not that that needs to be the aim, but if you want more of a stretch, that's what you do. Three more breaths. And then after your next exhale, keep your head turned the way it is. Keep looking to the left. Extend your right leg back to meet your left, so both legs are just long behind you. Extend your two arms out to the side. We're going to go right into the pec stretch, so keep your right arm extended straight out to the right. Bring your left hand to the floor like you're going to do a push-up. Roll onto your right side, and then you can stack the legs still, or you can step your left foot behind you, lining up the back of your skull with your own spine, with your own tail. And then if you did anything with the arms on the other side, do it again here. So you can keep your left hand there, or you can lift it behind you, or you can half find it. Everyone looks great.
Last minute or so. Following the natural rhythm of your breath, maybe noticing that it's higher into the chest where you feel this stretching. More big inhale. And on your exhale, you can return your left hand to the floor. Stack your legs and then roll onto your stomach with your left knee coming out to its own side and the other half frog. You'll turn your head to the right and cactus your elbows. So now your left knee is out to your side from the hip. You're turned to the right, so your left ear is down and your elbows are just cactused out from the armpits. Bringing the knee as high as you would like it. Last few breaths here. Then after your next exhale, extend your left leg to meet your right. Bring your forehead to the floor. Slide your hands back by your chest and push up to a tabletop. Find all fours for a moment. Take your time getting there, and we'll move through some cat-cows just to move through the spine a little bit more before sitting. So you can keep your hands exactly as they are. You can flip your wrists behind you so all 10 fingertips point back. Tilting the pubic bone forward. Feel the collarbones pull right and left. Dropping the tailbone down. Curling through the upper back, your chin draws to your chest. Let the movement start from low, from the pelvis. Full inhale to take you to the full expression of your cow pose, and the full exhale to take you into the highest dome for the cat. And you can move through it spherically, taking your hips side to side, rolling around through your neck. Just let this be kind of freestyle for the next minute. Move any which way you'd like. You can travel around and around in space, tracing through your palms. And if you are circling, circle the other direction. Evening yourself out now, last few moments. And then if your wrists are flipped, flip them forward, plug them in. And we're just gonna find one down dog. So walk the hands of palm print in front of you, tuck your toes, bend your knees, and lift your hips way up and back. Pulling the mat apart. Feel the thumb mound of both hands push the mat forward. Feel the big toe mounds of both feet pull the mat back. Hug the outer arms in towards your armpits. Lift up through your sit bones. Drop down through your heels. One more inhale. And then exhale, lightly lower your knees down and come to sit on your mat long ways like I am facing you so that you have room to your right and left side. We're going to go through a few hip stretches. So if you want to sit on something like a blanket, you can, just folding it this way and sitting on top. And we're going to start in ankle to knee. This version of shoelace where let's start with the right shin on top of the left shin. And if this isn't happening for you, you might just need to sit up a little bit higher on something. You can stack a few blankets or take the foot that's on top of the knee and just drop it in front of you so that you're just in this broken shoelace, so it's more of like a cross-legged seat. We're not trying to push the limits too much. So if actually stacking the shins isn't feeling right today, just drop the foot. Good. And then before we forward fold it, take your left arm out to the side, take your right arm over your ear, and get a nice side bend, fitting your chin into your armpit, root down through your right butt bone. And then take an inhale and reach your right arm further back behind you, finding a little bit of a back bend. And then exhale, reach your right arm forward and down to the floor to 10 o'clock on the left. Yeah. And then inhale, reach it up again behind your head, find a little back bend. And exhale, reach it forward and down to the left. 2 more times like that. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, forward and down. 1 more time, reach it back. And then exhale, forward and down, and keep your hands down, walking them to 12 o'clock, reaching them out in front of you. And then this is where you might want a few different options with blocks. You can put them underneath both hands and kind of slide the blocks out in front of you like this. You can take them like a wall and drop your elbows onto the blocks and just hold your chin in your 2 hands. You can put your elbows on the ground and do the same thing. Or you can put the block underneath your forehead like you might have done in Sphinx pose. Yeah. And then before we settle into it, take your thumb, your right thumb, and hook it into your right hip crease and push your right hip back. And then do the same with your left. Take your left thumb into your left hip crease and push your left hip back and down. So back behind you, like maybe I was behind you, pulling your pelvis towards me, and then down towards the mat. Keep both hands there for a few moments and feel if you can soften through the hip flexors, which might be tight at first when you enter this pose. It's like they're protecting you from being in it. So take a few breaths and settle in, and maybe feel them relax. And then you can let go of the arms and do whatever you would like, maybe holding the block or putting your forearms down or holding your chin into your hands. Yeah, you can also just stay upright if that feels better for you, Taylor. 5 long breaths. One more big breath in and out. Slowly walk your hands back and sit upright. You're going to keep your left leg exactly bent as it is, but take your right leg out and extend it out into a half dragonfly. So it's Ujjayi Shavasana. The left foot goes inside of the right inner thigh. You can stay sitting on whatever you're sitting. We're going to take this into the side bend version of the fold. So different props can look like this. If you have a bolster, you can lay it right on top of your right leg. Bring your right elbow to it and hold your head in your hand, and then reach your left arm over your head. You can also do something similar with a block. You can put blocks inside of your leg and take your forearm down to the block. So set up whatever props you're going to use. And then come up out of it for a moment so we can all get into it the same way. Bring your left hand to your left thigh. Push down on the thigh bone, turn to the left, and then keep that hip and glute grounded as you lay your right forearm down or your right elbow down, or you reach your right hand to your foot, and then turn and look up so that you're rotated. Your whole body is trying to look up towards the ceiling. And then once you feel good and you're in this twist, you can take your left arm over your head. Yeah, and maybe bend the elbow and hold your head in your hands, or take both hands and hold the head. If you have no props, you can even just put your right elbow on your right leg above or below the knee. Maybe relax through your shoulders or through your jaw, through your glute, wherever you might be holding. Five breaths. One more. Come out of it, reach your left arm up, and then put the hand down again on your left thigh and push down through your left thigh, coming up like a little teapot. Yeah. And then hands by your side and extend both legs out into dragonfly. We have the width of the mat, so if you want to scooch backwards and get both heels
On the padding of your mat, you can do that. Sitting up on something's nice, moving your flesh out of the way. And this one we will fold straight forward. So it can be a similar block setup to what we did in the ankle to knee. So you can have 2 blocks under your hands and just lean forward. You can set them up like a wall and drop your elbows down, holding your chin. You can do this with nothing on your forearms or on your elbows, or you can take the block underneath your head, holding it and letting it lean towards you so the shelf of the block is on the shelf of your forehead. And in Yin, we don't have to worry about what the feet are doing. You don't have to flex or point. They can turn in or out. If this pose is really sensational for you, you're feeling some heat building, you can alter your breath a little bit and do Ujjayi Pranayama. It's just bringing some sound to your breath. You're breathing in and out of the nose, but like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Letting the sound of your breath distract you from whatever might take you out of it. Slowly coming out of it. My computer just crapped out for a second, so sorry you were in that for so long. Come on up. Good. Keep your right leg or your left leg out to the side, and you're going to bend. Actually, for a moment, let's bend both knees and just windshield wiper them for a moment. And then we'll do the other side. And then take your left leg out, bend the right knee in, and we'll come into half dragonfly on this left side. So you can take the bolster on top of your left leg. You can take your blocks inside of the left leg. You can also not use any props and use your arm instead. You can slide your left arm underneath your knee and just hook the elbow under the knee and take your right arm in your left hand and just lean this way and turn, reaching your right arm over your head. Otherwise, whatever you did on the other side is good. So block or bolster your own leg. Take your right hand to your right thigh, push it down, root your hip into the floor, turn to the right, and then reach your left hand for your left foot or your left elbow for the proper ground. And once you're turned and rotated, you can reach your right arm over your ear. Letting it hang out or bending both elbows and holding your own head in your hands. Following the natural breath, maybe giving it some sound, Ujjayi Pranayama. Five breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, reach your right arm up. Take your hand to your own right thigh, push down through your right thigh, push your left hand up into your head and sit upright. And we'll finish out this sequence with the ankle to knee. So keep your right knee and shin as it is. Take your left knee, bend it, and stack your left shin on top. You might have fallen off of your blanket. You can resit yourself up. And if this side is proving to be too strenuous, you can just drop your left foot down and sit cross-legged. And before we fold it, we'll do the side stretch here. So right arm out, left arm over your head, root down through your left sit bone, look up underneath your left armpit. And then inhale, lean back, reach your left arm behind you in space. And then exhale, reach your left arm forward and down to the right to 2 o'clock. Again, inhale, lift the left arm up and back behind you. Exhale, reach it forward and down to the right, to the floor. One more, inhaling back. Exhale, forward and down. And then keeping both hands to the floor, walk them through to center and set yourself up for the fold here. You can keep your hands down, Maybe put blocks underneath them. Maybe put your elbows on blocks. Set yourself up how you'd like. And then, yeah, let's do the adjustment we did on the first side. Wedge your thumbs, left thumb into your hip flexor, right thumb into your hip flexor. Push down through the thigh bones as if I was pulling your hips back and then rooting them down. And then let your head drop in space or on a block. And you can return the arms to wherever they were out in front of you. Five breaths. After the next exhale, look forward and walk the hands back. Sit up tall. Turn so that your legs are extended out in front of you, coming off of your props, setting them out of the way, and shake your legs out. And then the briefest of caterpillars, which is Paschimottanasana, bend the knees, walk your hands for your heels, and just fold forward over your two bent legs, letting your head heavy. We're not going to be here long, just 5 breaths. Knees might fit into your armpits as you cup the heels in your palms. One more breath. And then keeping your eyelids heavy, walk your hands back just so that you can lie down, shift your pelvis forward, and lie onto your mat, taking up as much space as you'd like, making yourself warm again. You can widen your feet wider than your mat. You can widen your arms in a V over your head. Setting up for your Shavasana. Feeling again the weight of your body, anchoring you into this space for the last few moments. Letting the breath flow naturally in and out of your nose just as it is. Surrendering even further. Without moving at all. Becoming aware again of your breath. Feeling the temperature and the texture of the air around you. Starting to wake yourself up, you can swallow a couple times, roll through your wrists and ankles, stretch long like you're just waking up again. Bend your knees in, let them fall to the left and take a little twist to the right. And then bring your knees over to the right side. Look over to your left. Roll over onto the right into a fetal position, letting your head lay on your arm for a second. And then when you're ready, press yourself up to sit. Sitting comfortably, either cross-legged or in Virasana again. Palms facing down on the thighs. Eyes closed or heavy. Feel the inhales this time rise up the front line of your body, growing you taller. And the exhales sliding down your back, rooting you into the earth. Inhale is coming up from the pelvis, up through your pubic bone, up through your navel, up through your chest, through the roof of your mouth, through the crown of your head, and the exhale is coming down the slope of your skull, down your spine, down your tail, to the earth below. The inhales being the promise of the future, of your potential in the year ahead. The exhale sliding down your back, being this past year, the memories, the lessons, everything behind you. Letting your chin drop. Blink the eyes open, coming back into the world, the present moment. Thank you all so much.